What if a $27 digital product was the difference between building an online business that enables you to leave the career that you hate, become a full-time mom, and have the time freedom that you've always desired versus staying stuck? Would you create that product? Well, nearly 10 years ago, I did, and that is literally how my life has changed. So in this video, I'm going to share exactly how one small digital product opened the doors to a life that I could only imagine. So let's start from the beginning. September 2017 is a month that I will never forget. I was 6 years into my career as an engineer. I was working for one of the largest global Fortune 500 companies in the world, and I was making a really good salary. I had done everything right up until that point. I had not one, but 2 degrees in engineering. I had won the awards. I had gotten the accolades. In fact, just months prior, I had won a Global Icon Award for my work in the company and in the community. I had done everything that our parents told us to do the quote unquote American way. Yet and still, on that Thursday afternoon in September, I got the meeting invite with my manager and HR, only to find out that my whole team had been eliminated. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I had mixed emotions about this, not because I loved my job, but because I realized how disposable I was to them. Despite my education, despite my accomplishments, despite the contributions that I had made to the company, they still decided to let me go on a whim. So I was devastated. I went home that afternoon, I sat on the couch and I cried. I cried because not only was I laid off, but just months prior, my husband and I had closed on our first home. And so I was trying to figure out exactly how I was going to tell him and then also what my next move was going to be. And in that moment, despite how crazy it was, I knew that I was not going to continue to be at the will of an employer. Now, reality did set in, and the fact was that I needed to work. At that time, we needed both of our incomes. Despite having a severance, despite having savings, we needed both of our incomes, so I had to go back on the job search. Now, I was able to quickly find a job, which unfortunately isn't the case for a lot of people, but I did, and I'm grateful. But during that time, I wasn't trying to climb the corporate ladder or be this superstar employee that I was before. Instead, I was using every free minute that I had in that job to go full throttle on my side hustle, which was blogging at the time. Now, the reality was that blogging certainly was not going to replace my income at that point. I wasn't making ad revenue at the time. I wasn't getting brand deals. I was only making money from selling my first book and doing speaking engagements. So that alone, though, was not going to be able to replace my income. Now, it just so happened that that same year, I stumbled across another blogger who was able to quit her 9-to-5 job because of what at the time I had no clue about: digital products. She was talking about how she created this guide, she sold this guide, and she made 6 figures within her business in a year, and she left her corporate career. Now, I don't know about you, but that was all that it took for me to be inspired and motivated to do the same thing. My audience was not nearly as big as hers, but I just knew I could do it if I tried. I just knew that if I followed her plan and just reverse engineered what she did, I could at least get some results. So I had an email list of literally 37 people that I emailed, and I said, hey, I am creating this digital product. I sold it for $27 and some people bought. Now, this is the point in the story where most people are saying, well, yeah, I made $1 million or $1,000. Spoiler, I didn't. I made $100, if that. But that wasn't the point. The $100 was not the point. The point was that I created something, no ads, no social media launch, and people trusted me enough to buy it. It was a light bulb that went off in my head, like, this is possible for me too. I didn't have the courses, the resources, the free information that you can find on my own YouTube channel. I didn't have any of that. I simply figured it out and it worked. And that was just a turning point for me. Now, that product wasn't anything special. I literally created something in Canva before there was Canva AI or a bunch of these templates. I created something to help people find their purpose, and I sent them out recorded videos like for 5 days. And I literally sold that. And not only was I able to make sales, but I got to see the fruit of that because people actually dug into their purpose and they got results out of it. And they were able to literally find purpose in life from a small digital product that I sold. So yeah, it wasn't a lot of money, but it literally changed my life. Now, of course, it wasn't the end. Clearly, you see me here today. It started with that $27 product that turned into that $100 that I made, that turned into $200 a month, and then $500 a month. And oh my goodness, can I do it? $1,000 and $2,000. And eventually I was able to grow my online business to 20K months with the help of digital products. Now, here's the thing. I made a ton of mistakes. I have pivoted. I've been in so many different niches. I've had flop courses. I have products that didn't sell as well as I thought they would. There are so many things that have been setbacks on this journey that I want you to avoid. So I put it all in my book, The Monetized Mom. And especially in chapter 13, it breaks down the mistakes that I made that I truly, truly want you to avoid in your journey. So I'm going to leave the link for you to grab that book in the comments and also in the description of this video. Now, I'm not going to sit here and pretend like this is some overnight quick thing that you can do. I'm not going to feed you a pipe dream that you're going to make $1 million in 90 days, because that's just not the reality for a lot of people, or most people at all. But what I am here to tell you is that if I can do it with a lot less resources, you can do it too. It's possible. Is it going to be work? Yes, it is absolutely going to be work, but it's going to be work that's fulfilling, and it's going to be work that's on your own terms. Remember, I had the career. I had done all the things. I had the degrees. I had the income. I had the accolades, but at the end of the day, it wasn't on my own terms. At a second's drop, they were able to tell me your team is no longer needed. But I was able to build something with the start of a $27 digital product that has literally changed my life. Today, I'm a full-time mom. I get to homeschool. I get to take my kids to activities. I get to have self-care, something that I never had the opportunity or time to do when I was climbing the corporate ladder. My life looks so much different today than it did almost 10 years ago. And I literally have one single $27 digital product to thank, one blogger who was brave enough to share her story, and then my own gut and faith to go after it and build something that allowed me to live a life that I could only imagine. And today I get the privilege of helping other moms do the same, but with the blueprint and resources that I didn't have at the time. I've helped moms make their first 4 and even 5 figures online with the help of digital products, so that they could exit their careers and be a full-time mom, be the Proverbs 31 woman that they wanted to be. So if you know that you have a message, if you have knowledge, expertise, experience that could literally change someone's life, this is your divine sign to get started. It doesn't take a lot. Just start with something small and it can grow into something so big. There's an African proverb that goes something like, from little acorn come big trees. And so it literally starts with something small, a small step, a small digital product. It doesn't have to be anything grand, but just get started. This is my encouragement to you. Just like that blogger encouraged me and showed me what was possible, I want to show you what's possible too. So here's what I want you to do. I've shared my story. Now let's talk about what you can do. First and foremost, I want you to decide that you're going to do it. Stop being on the fence. Stop wavering about it. Stop thinking about it. Stop watching a ton of YouTube videos, trying to get more and more information. I want you to decide that I'm going to do it. Make the decision. After you have made the decision, I want you to really think about, what knowledge and expertise do I have that can help people solve their problem? Maybe it was what you do in your career. Maybe it's something that you've learned from life. Figure out what that knowledge and expertise is that can help someone else solve their problem. Then I want you to start building your audience. When I started, for me, that was blogging and Pinterest. Those things are not as great as they were before. So for you, I would definitely recommend YouTube. Start growing your audience. Start talking about the problem that you can help people solve. From there, I want you to really engage with people. Figure out what they need help with. What would they be willing to actually buy a digital product about? Once you've engaged with them and you kind of validated what you can create, I want you to use AI to create that digital product. You can literally create a digital product in minutes. Create that digital product, and then I want you to sell it. I want you to get on here and I want you to create videos, and I want you to sell that digital product. And you will see that first sale is going to be the spark to let you know that it's possible for me too. And if Fo can do it over at The Monetized Mom, so can I. Those are the exact steps that I want you to follow. Now, in the meantime, grab the Monetized Mom book. But if you want a full breakdown of how to get started selling digital products, check out this next video.